Hello everyone, so today I would like to show you how I painted this giant from the docks, and also I would like to discuss with you a topic of being stubborn while doing art and about the perseverance in art and being persistent. So enjoy the video. Before we start, a small introduction to this guy, so who he is and how he came to be. So basically this is a next illustration for the Sorcerer game, and in this case I wanted to create some sort of a creepy, like fat monster with a cleaver and a hat that is a butcher and that is eating like meat of the things that he hunts down and everything. So this was like the basic idea, and the sketch was kind of showing like a butcher or something like this. If you can see, the final like illustration is some sort of a giant from the docks, because when I was like working on this illustration, I kind of felt this is like the cooler way to portray this character, and it was kind of just a little bit more interesting to do so. And since I knew I can make this change, I just made this change. But this video will not be about like changing stuff and like reapplying things that you can reapply and redoing the things that you can redo. I would like to talk with you about like being persistent in art and about being stubborn while actually learning art. Before like doing this video, I wanted to originally talk about a completely different topic, but the thing was simply not working. My brain was like not ready to record the to talk about the original topic. I have no idea why. It was not really complex or like hard topic to talk about, but nothing was really working well, and I had like problems on top of the problems with recording audio for the original topic. And after the whole week of like trying to do so, at some point I was just okay, enough, like there's no way I'm going to like record this audio, let's just try something different. Like I lay down my weapon, I surrender, the topic won with me. And actually after like the final try, I was like, okay, let's just go to sleep and maybe I will try the next day. And when I basically laid down, I was like, okay, but why actually I kept trying for the whole week to make something that was clearly not working. And I kind of thought, okay, maybe talking about actually being stubborn, about this perseverance will be a cool thing to do. So there is a switch of a topic. We are talking about perseverance now and about being stubborn. So let's start with like the extreme basics of art. Everything that I will tell you about is like from the perspective of someone who is willing and who is working in the entertainment industry. So this is like a small disclaimer, but let's basically start with what is art. Basically, doing art is doing something creative. And if you want to work in this industry, in the entertainment industry, you basically will need to like learn tons of different stuff, and it won't be easy because this is a hard occupation. It's really demanding. You will need to know a lot of different things. You will need to know a lot of different like programs that you are going to use if you are like working digitally. And basically, long story short, doing art is not easy. This is a hard profession. This is a hard occupation. And it requires like thousands and thousands of hours of practice and learning and everything and whatnot, because like it's just a demanding job. If you want to be good at it, if you want to create interesting content, if you want to create interesting artworks, you simply will need to know a lot of different things. And part of the process, like the biggest part of the process in my opinion of learning everything, is actually failing while doing it, because in art you will pretty much need to practice every single day. You will need to practice a lot of different things. You will need to practice fundamentals, composition, color, like textures. You will need to practice your imagination. You will need to build like your visual library, however to pronounce it. There are thousands of different topics that will just be hard, and that will lead you and that will cause you to fail over and over again. And one of the things with the failing is that we don't really like to fail at all, because if we fail, we kind of have these negative thoughts, we kind of feel beaten by something, we feel that it's not really easy. And if you are a beginner, especially if you're a beginner, learning art might actually be extremely discouraging for you, because you will simply have problems on top of the problems, especially if you are like really demanding from yourself, and especially if you like to criticize your work. And in my case, I am someone who really like to criticize like my own work. So in my case, learning art and was not really easy at the beginning. I always wanted to be a perfectionist. I wanted everything to be perfect, and it was like just really hard, and it was extremely discouraging for me, and I had many problems while actually trying to learn new things, because shit's hard and that's all. And after like many years of struggling to learn something new, like to learning new things, despite the fact that I was getting better at everything because I was just doing it, I kind of tried to switch my mindset, and I kind of tried to change the way that I think about training and that I think about failing, like the way I'm thinking about failures and everything. Because if you think, in my opinion, of course, about failing as something negative, most likely you will get discouraged pretty quickly, because in art, like every time you will try to draw a portrait, you will fail, most likely. And every time you try to draw a second eye, you will fail, most likely. And every time you will try to draw a hand, you will fail, most likely. And no matter how many hours you will put into training, for example, these 3 or 4 things will just cause you problems all of the times, because they are just problematic, and that's all. And if you kinda approach the topic of failing as something negative, it will not be a pleasant experience. The kinda a good trick that I tried to apply it successfully in the past few years was to change the way of thinking about failures to something that creates the opportunity for me to learn. So every failure I tried to treat as a new way to learn something new, or to put it simply, as a challenge that I kind of want to overcome to in the end be a better version of myself the next day in the end of the process, or to simply just be a better artist. Because if you overcome like many different problems while doing art, and you overcome them successfully, or you will make them just look good, most likely it will mean you improved somehow. The easiest way to tell if you are like on the right path to improvement is when you are having problems with art. If the thing that you are doing is actually hard and you will keep pushing through it, it means you are on the right track to learn something new. Because if something is problematic, it means you lack knowledge in like those topics and in those fields, and it means there is a way and there is a place for improvement for you. So this is kinda, I think, in my opinion, one of the best ways to approach doing art, and to kind of keep doing it like every single day, or like every second day, or whatever, like depends on how much time you can actually spend on it. But to actually keep pushing for many years, trying to like learn everything like all the time, like trying to learn new things, it will require from you to actually be extremely persistent, and to not surrender easily, and to actually be extremely stubborn, because doing art requires you to be stubborn. You kinda, in a sense, need to be like brave or stupid enough to keep pushing no matter what kind of wrong happens in the artworks. Let's say for like 10 artworks, maybe only one of the artworks that you will do will be successful, like quote successful, or will be decent or something like this, but it meant you needed to create 9 bad pieces to create something decent, to improve yourself as an artist. Like, vast majority of the things that you will be doing, especially on the beginning, will simply look bad. And it's completely okay, it's completely fine. If you will accept this fact, if you will learn how to push throughout these problems, if you will learn or teach yourself how to push even if the things are not going well, most likely you will improve really quickly, and most likely the whole process will just be way more interesting for you. At the moment, for me, if I am approaching a new art, I kinda don't treat anything like as a problem or as a failure. If I fail at something, let's say I fail at something, I always like think that, well, okay, this will be a cool challenge to tackle. Now I will learn something new. Now I need to just try to be better than I was before doing the failed thing. So every single artwork is a new opportunity for me to learn and to become a better artist. So now it's cool. Now I'm okay with doing like ugly artworks and everything, and now I'm okay with failing and with experimenting and failing the experiments and everything, because I am aware of the fact that this is just a part of the process. And if you will like try to reapply this to you, like in your own way, because every single person is different, maybe this way won't work for you, so but it does for me, so maybe that's also the reason why I'm sharing it. Most likely doing art will simply be just way more pleasant, and you won't have so many problems, and maybe you will just improve quicker. So I guess this is all that I wanted to talk about. I have no idea which try it is for me to record this audio for this certain video, but I'm really happy that I made it, that I guess I was stubborn enough to finish it. Maybe it's not the best video that I will ever do, maybe it's not like the deepest topic that I wanted to talk about, but for me it's a small victory, because I managed to push through the whole week of failures and to produce a video. So it's a win for me, and also you hopefully will learn something new. And if you feel that I'm mumbling but you find the process to be enjoyable, like you enjoy watching what I am painting in there, just feel free to mute me and blast some music and just watch how I paint and what I paint. So this will be all for today's topic, and I only want to tell you some I forgot the word, but the new things, the news, let's say. So excuse me, so I will be streaming every Monday and every Wednesday at 9 PM GMT +1. At Mondays I will be painting some Diablo redesigns and monsters and everything, and currently at Wednesdays I will be making some sort of a series where I will teach you the basics of art, the basics of drawing, the geometry, the perspective and whatnot. So feel free to join into those streams. And also soon, like in not too distant future, I will be opening a Discord server, so there will be like a place, a hub for all the persons who are watching this video to just go there and to talk with themselves and to share some works and everything. So maybe if I will like see some cool works, or maybe if I will see something like interesting to comment on, maybe I will also make a video about it. So feel free to follow the channel. I will soon most likely make the announcement of the creation of the special group on Discord. So this is pretty much all. And the last thing that I also wanted to talk about is I forgot what I wanted to talk about. So I guess this will be over for me for today, and I hope, as always, you learned something new. Subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment if you have any questions at all. I will gladly answer your questions or whatever. If you have any suggestions for the topic that you would like me to cover, feel free to write them in the comments. And enjoy the last 3 or 4 minutes of this process video. So yeah, have a good night or have a good day. Thanks for stopping by, and see ya. Enjoy the rest of the process.